Most people dream of replacing their job income with something that doesn't require them to get out of bed every morning, clock in, deal with stress, and trade every hour of their life for a paycheck. They want money that shows up whether they work or not. But the problem is, nobody teaches normal people how to create that kind of income. The internet is full of shortcuts, scams, hacks, and nonsense that make passive income sound magical but never real. The truth is that real passive income exists, and millions of investors use it every day. And the simplest, most reliable path toward that income is through dividend-paying ETFs. These ETFs hold dozens or even hundreds of companies. They collect dividends from each one of them and then pass that income on to you. So instead of working for money, the companies inside these funds work for you. And if you stay consistent long enough, the income can grow big enough to cover your bills, your food, your rent, or even your entire lifestyle. Today, I'm going to show you 5 different ETFs that people use to build the type of income that can replace their job. They each serve a different purpose. Some are safer, some are higher income, some grow faster, and some are more aggressive. By the end of this video, you will understand how these ETFs work and how their dividends could realistically replace your paycheck over time. Before we get into the numbers, take 1 second to subscribe. This channel removes the confusion from money. If you want simple, math-based financial clarity instead of hype, subscribing is the easiest decision you'll make today. Let's begin with something most people misunderstand. When you invest in dividends, you're not investing for the stock price, you're investing for the income. A dividend is a cash payment, real money, deposited into your account every 3 months. It doesn't matter if the stock is up. It doesn't matter if the stock is down. You get paid as long as you own the shares. That's the magic. You're not waiting for the market to go up. You're getting paid even when it goes sideways. But dividends only matter if they grow. A dividend that pays $300 a month today but never grows will be worth less and less every year because of inflation. That's why the first category of ETFs is built around dividend growth, not just high income, growing income. Now imagine this scenario. You invest $1,000 a month for 30 years. If you leave that money in a savings account earning 0%, you finish with exactly $360,000. But that $360,000 produces $0 in income. Zero.
You still need a job. You still need to sell the money you saved just to survive. If you invest that same $1,000 a month for 30 years and earn an 8% average return, the historical long-term return of the stock market, you finish with about $1.5 million. Not bad. But again, it doesn't produce income. You have to start selling your stocks to live. And if the market crashes while you're selling your shares, your income collapses. But what if you invest that same $1,000 a month into ETFs that grow at 8% a year while also paying a 4% dividend? Now your portfolio still grows to $1.5 million, but it also pays you around $60,000 a year, or $5,000 per month in dividends, without selling anything, without working, without timing the market, just income. Then there's the next level, dividend reinvesting. If instead of taking your dividends and spending them, you reinvest every dividend payment back into buying more shares, your $1.5 million becomes over $3.1 million using the same numbers, $1,000 a month, 8% growth, and a 4% dividend yield. And because the value doubled, your dividend income doubles too. Now, instead of $5,000 a month, you're earning around $11,700 a month, all from being consistent. This is what real passive income looks like. Not hype, just math. Now let's talk about the actual ETFs. The first category is core dividend growth. These ETFs made of large, established American companies that not only pay dividends, but increase them year after year.
This matters because your income needs to grow faster than inflation. The strongest example in this category is SCHD. It pays around 3.4% right now, but the dividend has grown by an average of about 10% per year over the last decade. That means your income doesn't just show up, it grows. If inflation is 3% and your dividend is growing 10%, your income is growing faster than your expenses. That is the secret of long-term income. The second category is international dividends. These ETFs invest in companies outside the United States, which often pay higher dividend yields. The income is bigger, but the risk is also bigger. A good example is VYMI. It pays around a 3.5% dividend and has grown the dividend by around 8% per year since it launched. This ETF diversifies your income by giving you exposure to companies all over the world instead of relying only on the United States. More sources of income mean more stability. The third category is dividend aristocrats. These are companies that have raised their dividends every year for at least 25 straight years. That means they increased dividends through the dot-com crash, the 2008 financial crisis, the 2020 pandemic, inflation waves, wars, recessions, everything. NOBL is the ETF that invests in these companies. It pays around 2.3% today, but its strength isn't the yield, it's the reliability. A company that survived 25 years of economic disasters while raising its dividend every single year has a level of discipline and consistency built into it. The fourth category is mid-cap dividend growers. These companies are smaller than giants like Apple or Microsoft, but big enough to be stable. They sit in the $2 billion to $10 billion range. They're still growing, which means their dividends are growing fast. REGL is the example here. It pays around 2.4%, but the dividend has increased by roughly 11.6% per year for the past decade. That kind of compounding makes a massive difference when you stack it over 20 or 30 years. And the fifth category is covered call ETFs. These pay very high dividends today, often between 8% and 12%. The catch is that the underlying stock price doesn't grow as fast because the ETF generates income by trading options on the stocks it holds. Think of it like renting out shares. JEPI is the example most people know. Over the last year, it paid around 8.2%. JEPQ, focused on NASDAQ stocks, paid around 10.5%. These are not long-term growth engines. They are short-term income machines. If your goal is maximum cash flow today, these funds can deliver. But they are not reinvest and grow ETFs like the first four categories. If you combine these five categories correctly, core U.S. dividend growth, international dividends, dividend aristocrats, mid-cap growers, and covered calls, you can build an income engine that pays you in multiple ways. You get stable income, growing income, diversified income, and high immediate income. A balanced dividend portfolio can give you safety, growth, and cash flow at the same time. Now let's talk about what this looks like in real life. If your goal is to replace your income, your portfolio needs to generate enough monthly dividends to cover your bills. If your bills are $4,000 a month, you need around $1.2 million invested at a 4% yield, based on simple math. If your bills are $2,500 a month, you need around $750,000 invested. But remember, dividend growth means your income increases over time. So even if your dividends only cover half your expenses today, they might cover all your expenses 5 or 10 years later as they grow. The secret to all of this is consistency. Even if you start small, even if you can only invest a few $100s a month, the combination of reinvesting dividends and long-term compound growth can change your entire financial life. Time multiplies money. Small seeds become large trees. What starts as $50 a week ends as thousands of dollars a month in passive income. Most people never reach this stage because they expect fast results. But dividend investing is not fast. It is slow, steady, boring, and powerful. It rewards the patient, not the clever. It rewards the consistent, not the lucky. And it rewards anyone who understands that you don't need to work for money forever. You need your money to start working for you. If you want financial freedom in your lifetime, start investing consistently. Choose quality funds, reinvest your dividends, and let time do the rest. The 5 categories of ETFs we covered in this video are the same tools millions of investors use to build income that eventually replaces their paycheck. If you found this helpful, subscribe to NetPlus so you never miss the real math behind building wealth. Your future self will be glad you heard this today.